Hi everybody, it's Gemma. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf. Today I'm going to be doing a wear test and a review on the EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation. This is a really big hit with all the Hollywood A-listers. They love this foundation, so I wonder if I will too. If you are interested in finding out whether I do, how it applies, how long it lasts for, then please keep watching. So this is the EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation. It's £12.50 in the UK, $16.50 in the US, and you get 30ml worth of product. This is available at Boots. It's also available at feelunique.com and also lookfantastic.com. So it's actually available in a wide variety of places. This comes in 17 different shades, and I've gone for the shade 2.0, which is slightly paler than my natural skin tone, but I have heard that this oxidizes quite dramatically, so I was hoping that it would even itself out after it had oxidized. But I don't know for definite if this is going to oxidize on my skin. We'll just have to see as the day goes on. So this is supposed to be a lightweight formula with a luminous finish to the foundation. It's supposed to be designed to blend seamlessly into your skin. It's got true colour pigments in there and light diffusers which work in harmony with your natural skin tone to leave your skin flawless and youthful looking. But again, we'll figure that out as the day goes on. So this is paraben free, it's vegan, it's 100% oil and fragrance free. It's also non-comedogenic, which means it's non-pore clogging. So if you've got problematic skin like mine, this might be perfect for you. And it also says that it's buildable yet breathable. This was really designed for everybody who's got more of a yellowy skin tone. If you really struggle to find a foundation that really suits your skin because they're all a little bit too pinky or a bit too orangey, then this one might be a really good one to try. However, if you've got a really pink skin tone or a really orange skin tone, this might not work for you. So there are lots of people that absolutely love this foundation. Glamour magazines say that this is a brilliant formula. Britney Spears swears by this foundation. Margot Robbie wore this to the BAFTAs. Adele wore this to the Brit Awards. And my friend Rachel wears this on the school run and looks absolutely glorious. So let's get some of this on the skin. Okay, so as always, I only have my serums on my skin. I don't wear primers when I'm doing a foundation review and wear test because different primers react differently with different foundations, so it just wouldn't be fair. So I only have my serums on my skin, and I will link everything that I've used today in the description box below. So let's get some of this on. Let me show you the packaging first. This is the EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation, a bronze gold lid and bottom to it, and it looks glass but it's actually plastic, so it'll be really hard wearing. I have the shade 2.0 if you didn't hear me correctly earlier on. So this is a really thick consistency. This is 2 pumps of the foundation standing very proud on my hand. Very, very thick. Very much like a really luxurious cream thickness. I'm actually not going to put this directly on my face because I don't know how this is going to cover, so I will apply it little by little to my brush and apply it to the face that way, just so we don't get too much of this on, because this is like super thick stuff. So let's go for it. Actually, that's not going on too badly. It's not super duper pigmented like I was expecting with the thickness. Quite liking how that's going on so far. It's not settling into any of my dryness yet. This is actually sinking into the skin really nicely, very much like a tinted moisturiser that the skin just soaks up all the goodness in the product and then you're left with the coverage on the surface of the skin. This is very, very similar to that sort of scenario. Now it does say on their website that the best way to apply this product is with a brush. Let's face it, I was going to do that anyway because that's my favourite method, but it does say to do that on this website. So I would say I've got a light to medium coverage using around about 1.5 pumps. If I show you how much product I've got left on my hand, I've got very little product left out of the 2 pumps that I put on my hand. but there is a little bit left over. This feels like it's non-existent on my skin. It is so light. It feels like I've put a moisturiser on my skin, if I'm being quite honest. Doesn't feel like foundation at all. I do feel like I've got something on my skin, but doesn't feel like foundation, which is really quite bizarre. I'm going to see if this is buildable just in the areas that I need it. So I do have a little bit of scarring left here that the Dermarolling hasn't taken away yet. So I just want to cover that up, and again, very similar on this side here. So I'm just going to see if that's buildable. And it definitely is buildable, really, really easy to build without any patchiness. Do you know what? I am so happy with that. I wasn't actually going to do this review today, but because the clocks went back last night, I have an extra hour to play with today because I've got kids, so I wasn't allowed to stay in bed for the extra hour. So we've got an extra hour to play with, so I thought I'd do this review today instead of tomorrow. So that looks really, really flattering on my skin. It's definitely a luminous finish, but it's sort of a matte luminous. So it's not super shiny. It feels like it's not going to budge throughout the day, but it's actually a really flattering skin-like finish, which I really, really like. I will show you this in natural lighting a little bit later on when I have all the rest of my products on. So I'm going to go and do that now, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the finished look for today. I didn't want to go too over the top because, as usual, on a Sunday morning, I'm going to be stood next to a freezing cold football pitch watching Seth play football. He got man of the match last week. Go Seth, super proud. So hopefully he'll do well again this week. I was really, really happy with how the foundation applied to my face. It really sank into the skin. And at the time of application, I didn't think it was sinking into any dryness. But as the foundation has dried down on my face, I noticed that around my chin area does emphasize a few dry spots, which a few other foundations don't do. So don't get me wrong, this isn't like a no-go. This isn't a deal breaker for me. It looks really nice still, but it does emphasize some dry areas that I've got on my chin, and I will show you that in natural lighting because I feel that it will be a lot more noticeable in natural lighting than it is in the studio lighting that I've got here. Other than that, everywhere else looks really skin-like. Definitely doesn't look like there's lots of foundation on my face. It's just evened my skin tone out. I don't feel like this is oxidized yet. It may not oxidize. I will keep you posted throughout the day. This has only been on my skin for around about 20 minutes, so hasn't had much time to oxidize, but some foundations do oxidize in a very, very small amount of time. So I will keep you posted how we get on throughout the day. I'm going to do a check-in a little bit later on if there's anything to report, if there's anything different about the foundation. But other than that, I will check in with you a little bit later on, probably after about 8 hours, maybe even 10, because I'm going to my dad's for tea again. It's Sunday. So we will be there later on. Depending on what time I get back will depend on what time I do the final check-in. So see you all in a bit. So this is the foundation in natural lighting. I think it looks really pretty on my skin. It's really quite fresh and luminous. The only thing that I don't really like about this foundation is the fact, let me just zoom you in, it has sank into my dryness a little bit. I'm not sure if you can pick that up on camera, but it has gone a little bit patchy and a little bit clingy in my drier areas. And if you see here, sort of collects in that area, which isn't great. Now, it's not a deal breaker, but I just wanted to mention it because if you have a lot of dry patches on your skin, then maybe you need to avoid this particular foundation. I have seen reviews, however, for people with oily skin who have said that this foundation is amazing for people with oily skin, but perhaps not for somebody who has a lot of dry skin on their face. I'm still going to give this foundation a really good go because I only have a tiny bit of dryness around my chin. And I just think that everywhere else it looks really nice, very fresh, really like that. So I'm going to wear this for the rest of the day. I'll see you all in a bit. Welcome to the first check-in. It's been quite a long time actually since I first applied the foundation. It's been around about 8 hours, so it has done a really good stint so far, and I've really put this foundation through the mill today, been in freezing cold climates and then in a really hot house and then bathed the kids in steam and then outside again in really cold climate. So it has done quite well today, but I've just noticed the foundation started to turn on my skin, so I thought I would just jump on and do a quick update before we sat down and had something to eat. I'm at my dad's at the moment. I'm actually in my old bedroom, which my dad's now converted into an office. How rude. I loved my old room. It was purple and now it's like magnolia everywhere. Anyway, back to the foundation. The foundation has really started to congeal around my nose, gone very, very shiny. It hasn't sank into any fine lines, or so I don't think, but it still looks quite dry on my chin. I have had a scarf on today, so it's not really very fair to judge the end of my chin because the scarf's obviously been rubbing on the end of my chin to try and keep me warm. So it's inevitable that some of the foundation will have rubbed off. Even some of the Estee Lauder that is like glue would have rubbed off at this stage, so just thought I ought to let you know that. So just to have a look up close to my chin, I just don't think it looks very nice. It's gone very, very shiny. It started to separate. And do you know, not in natural lighting it looks a lot better than this, but as soon as you go in natural lighting it shows up every single flaw. It still looks quite flattering, as in the sheen on my skin looks quite flattering, and give it its dues, it hasn't oxidized. For me personally, to my eye, I don't think this has got any darker than it was when I first applied it. So as you can see here as well, I just zoom in there, it just looks dry but oily all at the same time. Now if I can just remind you, I didn't put very much of this foundation on. I put it where I need it, and it was quite sparingly I applied it, and I applied it exactly how it said to apply it on the EX1 website. So I'm really disappointed because I know this foundation works on a lot of people, but unfortunately it's just not working on me today. I'm going to check in with you at the end of the day and let you know how I'm getting on, so I'll see you all in a bit. Welcome to the final check-in. It's now been just over 11 hours since I first applied the foundation to my face. I think this is one of the longest wear tests that I have ever done on a foundation. This wasn't by choice, it was just because we got the extra hour in bed because we put the clocks back last night. I actually filmed at the normal time, so it was very, very early this morning that I filmed. It's actually only 7 o'clock at night and it's pitch black outside, so this cannot be done in natural lighting. So it's under warm bedroom lighting, so you're not going to see the full effect. But this actually looks quite flattering in this light. The only thing I can say is it hasn't got any worse from the 8-hour check-in to now, other than I've started to break out slightly on my chin, which is really quite worrying because I'm going to be wearing this foundation for the next 3 days. I am adamant that I am going to find a way that this foundation works on my skin, because my friend Rachel looked absolutely stunning first thing in the morning and also late at night when I see her. She looks absolutely beautiful. So this foundation definitely works for her, but I cannot get it to work for me. So let me just show you my chin area. It is starting to go rather red and a little bit angry, and around here you can see where it sank into my dry areas, which hasn't got worse as this area's got oily, which I really just don't understand. Usually when you get oilier through the day, the dry patches look a little bit less evident, and these it just hasn't happened that way. And around my nose area, it's still exactly the same as the 8-hour check-in, so really I don't have very much more to add. It's felt really nice on my skin all day. It hasn't really felt like a foundation. It's felt extremely hydrating and extremely nourishing, and that might be one of the reasons that I have started to break out on my chin area, because I struggle to wear anything that's very, very, very hydrating and nourishing on my skin. It's just a bit too much for me, so maybe that's the reason. Anyway, I am going to wear this for the next 3 days. I will put an update in the description box below and let you know how I'm getting on. I don't think this is the type of foundation that I would bother trying out on my mum because she does have quite a few dry patches, and I don't think this foundation is going to be suitable for anybody with really dry skin. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, please do give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There is a watermark in this corner. If you click on it, it will take you through to my homepage where you can subscribe. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. It's a little bit of an insight into my personal life as well as the whole makeup world. Hope to see you all again soon. Bye!